Welcome to Unleashing Happiness. I am your host, Cecilia Hendricks, and like always, I am so excited that you're here today. We are actually going to have maybe a little bit different of an episode than what I've done before, but I want to talk about becoming authentically yourself and really leaning into the things that light you up and bring you joy, and how sometimes that may mean that you need to release some relationships or activities that you're doing that are just not caring for you, and allow yourself to be the person that you want to be and to experience the things that you want to experience. And I'm really excited to jump into this topic because I've had a bit of an epiphany this week and I'm just excited to share it with you. So let's get started. Thank you so much for joining me today. I just want to start by saying how much I really enjoy doing this podcast. I have found that this has been something that I have enjoyed even more than I thought that I would. And it was always quite amazing to me because I was very scared to branch into some of the topics that I discuss here. I had great fear about what others were going to think about me and the type of information that I was going to be giving. Was I allowing too much of myself and my beliefs to be seen? And I've realized as doing this podcast, because this is actually my 60th regular episode. I don't know how many episodes I've done in full because I've done so many bonus ones, but my 60th regular episode. And I've realized that within this, I have learned that being able to speak my own truth and be authentically myself and share these beliefs that I have has been nothing but positive for me. I've even found that there's been people who have reached out to me in my life to say, hey, I've been listening to your podcast and I've really found this amazing, or this has really helped me. This isn't something that I would usually listen to, but because I know you personally, I do listen to you and I just find it really well done and it's helped me in certain areas of my life. And that has been phenomenal. I've also had others reach out to me and say, I have very similar belief systems and these are the things that I've learned and the ways that my life has changed. And it's just amazing to be able to see the new connections that this has provided to me that it would not have had I continued to live in fear. Had I not been authentically myself and just started to branch out and say, I feel this way, I want to share this information. I have found this really great way to make changes in my own life. I have found this really great way to seek internal happiness and to find the happiness and the joy that's from me, right? Because there's not an external event or person that provides me my happiness. It comes from myself. And it's just been such an amazing journey to share that out with others through this podcast or through some of my other social channels. But I just enjoy being able to do it so much. And I am so thankful that you are here listening to me. And I hope that you are getting as much benefit from hearing my words as I am from speaking my words, because being authentically myself has really started to open up so much more in my life, even more than I ever imagined it would. As I was preparing to get ready to record this podcast episode, I was thinking over some of the things that I'm really grateful for. I have started a practice of in the morning really starting to look at the things that I'm grateful for within that very present moment. So my pillow being curled up in my bed. I live in Colorado and the evenings right now are really, really chilly, and so are the mornings. And I love to sleep with my window open and wake up into like a cold room and be just all curled up in my bed. And I'm just really thankful and happy when I wake up that way. It just starts my day off so well. And so I have been focusing on a gratitude practice of just really considering the things that I'm actually grateful for, like what actually feels good right now in this moment. And one of the things that has been coming up more and more is that I'm so grateful for the people that listen to my content, either whether it's here or it's on Instagram or it's on YouTube or reading my blog, which I need to actually get better about updating. I definitely recognize that. But just all of these people that are on this journey with me. And whether you are an active participant who reaches out to me quite often, I do hear from a couple people on a regular basis to either my email or to my YouTube comments. And I absolutely love hearing from you. So if you're listening to this, please know that I am so grateful for you. I love getting your emails. I love hearing about how your day is going and the way that you're adding daily joys into your life and the things that are going well. And honestly, even the things that you have questions on. Sometimes I get emails where it's like, hey, I really would like to know a little bit more about this and what is the way that I can help myself. And if I feel like I have information that can help you, I will definitely share it with you. And if I feel like I don't, and it's not an area that I can give you advice or any kind of tips, I will also let you know. I don't want to feed anybody snake oil. I want to give them information that has helped me and say, hey, this is something that may help you as well. And just provide a different perspective, because a lot of times that's really all that we need is just a new perspective. But so the folks that reach out to me, I am extremely grateful for you. Thank you so much. And the folks that just listen, I am extremely grateful for you as well. I love that you show up here. I love that you are listening to the content. I hope that you're getting something from it. And I really just appreciate all of you being here. And I hope that you're getting just as much out of this podcast as I am getting from making it and creating it and being here each and every week. And that kind of leads into what I wanted to talk about today, which is focusing again on the things that you want and the things that you want to experience and the things that you allow yourself to experience. In either that is in a experience in a positive way, things that you wish to experience, or things that you're experiencing because you're staying in a negative cycle. I am currently reading Anatomy of the Spirit by Carolyn Mace, which I believe it's pronounced Mace. And it's the 7 stages of power and healing. And I'm pretty newly into the book, but I was gifted this book from a friend, and this actually connects back to what I was talking about before with making the podcast. So sometimes still in social situations, somebody will mention that I have a podcast, and it will kind of spur a conversation between friends that's like, oh gosh, what's your podcast about? And I still sometimes have a little bit of fear in sharing that in social situations. My kids play hockey. My hockey family, I absolutely love them. I truly do. And we have connected with a group of the parents very, very closely, and I consider them very good friends of mine. And I really appreciate having those relationships. They're very important to me. The people are very important to me, and the connections that we have are important. And it also helps that our kids definitely have something in interest together, but they all get along. So I've got 2 boys. There's a couple other boys that are in this group, and they just all tend to get along really well. We do a lot of sleepovers, dinners together, going out, and it's a really beautiful relationship that I have. They are very important relationships to me, extremely important. And I'm very thankful to have those in my life. And so when the podcast came up, there was a little bit of hesitation, because sometimes I do think that the things that I share, my belief system, the way that I look at the world and the way that we treat ourselves can be seen as a little weird from others. And I have unfortunately had relationships very close to me that I have been kind of treated as if my belief systems are something that I should not be sharing outwardly, and that they're kind of weird and maybe too far out there. And I definitely recognize that I have a lot of woo-woo beliefs, and that I truly do believe in a lot of the metaphysical, and that I think that our worlds are much more than this physical things that we can see, right? There's so much that's going on around us that we just don't see. We're not able to comprehend. And the more that you open your mind to it, the more evidence that you get of it. But of course, it's going to be opening your mind to see it. And so I didn't want to hurt these relationships by sharing this information about myself, but I also didn't want to lie or hide the things that I'm proud of. And I'm proud of this podcast, and I'm proud of sharing these beliefs. And I do truly believe this. And I do truly believe that a lot of these beliefs can help others, especially when done in a healthy way, in a way that is healing yourself, focusing on your internal beliefs, and learning how to provide yourself with the self-care and self-love that every single person is deserving of, and the ways to fill your own cup and to take care of your mind, body, and spirit. I think there's such beauty in that. So I didn't want to necessarily hide these parts of me, but I also realized that after a couple glasses of wine that I could probably get going pretty far out there on kind of my belief systems. But I went ahead and just said, okay, I'm going to be authentically myself, and I'm going to share what this podcast is about and some of my own personal belief systems and the mystics that I like to follow and listen to. And it opened up this amazing conversation about your own chakras and taking care of yourself and how you can actually heal yourself and utilizing the things that we cannot see necessarily with our naked human eye, but can definitely feel with our spirit, and open up our own world to something that's bigger than us right here, right now. And that there is an energy system that you can actually focus on to take care of yourself and to live a better life. And out of that conversation, one of my friends sent me some new books to check out. And I had never heard of Carolyn Mace. She was somebody new to me. And she is actually a healer, an intuitive healer, and has these books that are out. She's a mystic, definitely, of our time. And I will be sharing more of the book, definitely, because so far I'm greatly enjoying it, but I'm just getting started. But there was a quote in there from her that has really stood out to me, and it just touched me in a way that I really wanted to talk about a bit more today. She says, "I have learned through my work that the soul in every person craves contact with the sacred. We long to experience awe. That need in us is what draws us to beautiful sunsets and sunrises and mountaintops and seashores. We want to be overwhelmed by something greater than ourselves that is unexplainable by the ordinary mind. We are forever positioning ourselves to tempt our soul to show itself to us in some tangible way." And I believe that we find ourselves where we need to be, that we end up getting the information that we need at the time that we need it, whether we recognize it at that moment or not. And I think that when you find yourself to this podcast, especially this episode, it's because you are seeking the awe in your own life. That maybe it's lacking for you right now, but that is something that you want. And there is great importance in allowing ourselves to have the things that we want. There is so much to be said about allowing yourself to be the person that you are, the authentic person that is actually you and makes up you. And that's exactly what I found in myself, is that I had to become my authentic self in order to feel good about my own life. And the more that I've opened up to being this authentic self, I've talked on here about my back pain and that I have a really tight back. And the more that I'm opening myself up to who I truly am and allowing myself to be my authentic self, still connected to love and the golden rule of treating others the way that I would like to be treated. But when I definitely connect to who I am as a person, I don't let someone else's judgments dim me or make me feel like I need to make myself small. I have found that that is starting to decrease. I am allowing healing within my own body because I'm releasing the hold that I have left on myself. I'm releasing this hold on this, I have to be this kind of person, that I can't have the things that I want and I can't experience the life that I want to experience because I have so many responsibilities. And I don't share this as to say that you should not care about other people and that you should not care about the word that you give to others. But there's also something to be said about allowing yourself to actually feel the way that you want to feel and taking a real look at the life that you actually want to lead. What are the things that you want to experience, and what are you currently experiencing that is not good for you? Either because of your own perspective on it, or because truly it is just a relationship, or it is a habit, or it is a job, or it is something that you are holding on to that is keeping you small, that is not allowing you to become the person that you want to be because you are putting so much attention and focus into just remaining in this situation. And I'll use kind of an example is that if you are at a job that is just draining you, every single day you go in and you just hate it, and your intention and energy is all around attempting to make this something that you don't hate, right? You've decided, I don't want to hold on to this negative energy. I don't want to hold on to these negative feelings, but I'm really unhappy here. And because all of your energy and focus is going towards this job and trying to make it something that you can somewhat enjoy or at least not hate, you're not able to give to the other areas of your life. You're not able to give to yourself in the way that you could be able to if you were working at a job that you felt more fulfilled. And there's no reason to stay somewhere that you don't feel can give you the things that you need. Now, I fully understand that that's a lot easier said than done, especially when you're looking at areas of your life that you don't know, should I stay or should I go? Am I doing the right thing? Are the ways that society are going to look at me in this situation going to make it too difficult for me to do this? Am I going to carry too much shame to make this decision and to move on into another area of my life that would fulfill me more? That I could find internal happiness because I've let go of this relationship or this job or this whatever that is completely not serving me. There's going to be times that what is not serving you is your own view of yourself, your own way that you treat yourself, the own way that you talk to yourself, the conversations that you're having, the way that you treat yourself when you wake up in the morning, the way you treat your body during the day. That could also be something that you need to release. But also understand that during this process, it is okay to become authentically you and release these things that do not serve you. And it's a step-by-step process. It may not happen overnight. There could definitely be changes and epiphanies that you have within a moment. I know I do. A couple nights ago, I actually was sitting home and really contemplating just a lot of things, the relationships that I have in my life, the things that I want, the things that I want to experience. And I did have a bit of an epiphany on a relationship, and it was really eye-opening for me. And it just was very important for me to see the importance of this relationship in my life and how much this person truly means to me. And it was good to have that moment because it was from like one moment to the next, just an awakening of an understanding. But sometimes it definitely is a little bit of a slower build, and it might take you a little bit longer to recognize that and to allow yourself to recognize it, because truly a lot of times we're going to try to hold ourselves back, especially if we don't want to admit that it's time to let something go. And that can be, like I said, a relationship, a way that you're treating yourself, a career that you're staying in, some goal that you're working on that you're not actually working on for you, but maybe you're working on to make your parents feel good, or you're working on because your spouse feels like it's something that you should do. And a lot of times we have to let go of that stuff, and we need to be honest with ourselves about the things that we want and the way that we want to live our lives. And you can do that while still having wonderful relationships with others. It's not saying that you cannot continue the relationships or that you cannot continue in the job, but sometimes it is important to recognize what's holding you back. And that's how I seek my awe in life. I feel like this is how I see the wonder that is in the world, is because the more that I allow me to be me and I lean into the things that bring me joy, and I pay attention to what lights me up and what excites me and what makes me feel good, the more that I'm able to see the beauty that's in the world, because I'm not giving these other things so much of my attention that I have blinders on for everything else around me. And that includes letting go of my fear of what society is going to think. That means letting go of my fear that others that are around me are going to be like, you're weird. I cannot believe that you talk about this stuff. I cannot believe that you believe this stuff. And then beyond believing it, that you're going online publicly and talking about it. I had to release that fear in order to be authentically myself and to feel really, really good in the life that I was leading. And although there are things in my life that I definitely still want to see change, and I'm still on a journey of my own self-awakening and my own self-discovery, I feel so happy now. I have joy in my everyday because I have learned how to refocus my attention and to make sure that I am giving my energy to the things that really matter and to the people that matter and the relationships that matter. And it has just really added so much joy to my life. And I hope that you can find the same. I do encourage you today to make sure that you do a daily joy. If you need a refresher or if you're new here, a daily joy is writing out a list of things that bring you joy. It can be very small things like drinking a cup of coffee, sitting out in the sunshine, taking a bubble bath, reading a book, doing a puzzle, whatever is this little moment of joy that you really like. I want you to do a list of all these things. And my list is huge now. I keep adding to it. And then I want you to consciously make a decision that you're going to do at least one of those things today. You're going to give yourself a full minute, if not more, but at least 1 minute to enjoy this moment. Enjoy this thing. Give yourself some joy. Sit for a moment and actually pay attention to how you feel when you're doing that joy. What kind of feelings come up for you? And likely it'll lead to you wanting to do more joys for your day. It'll lead to you wanting to take better care of yourself. And I have found that in doing this in my own life, it has brought up such natural feelings of gratitude that I've started to notice things that I did not notice before, like the way that the sun hits the hills behind my house. Or the way I put these little crystals in my windows and it creates rainbows across my house. And I absolutely love it. It's these prisms. And I have noticed more and more of those the more that I lean into my daily joys. Because my mind is open to recognizing the awe and the beauty that is all around me because I'm taking better care of myself. So I definitely encourage you today to do something for you. And to release the judgments of others, not to worry about it. Focus on yourself. You focus on you. You focus on your core group of what makes you happy and the things that you want to do and treating people the way you want to be treated and treating yourself really, really good today. And just watch the magic that this opens up into your life. So I hope you have an absolutely beautiful day. I hope you have a beautiful week. If you have any questions or comments, if you're listening on YouTube, definitely please leave them down below. And if you are listening on one of the podcast hosting services, you can send me an email. It's unleashinghappiness@ceciliahendricks.com. I definitely get back to everybody. Sometimes it may take a few days, but I do get back to you. And I would absolutely love to hear from you. Have a beautiful week.